Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Rachel and this is RRD Creates, where we will create, I'll educate, and hopefully inspire you a little bit. So today we're going to start things off by just drawing some fall poncho ideas on paper. I'll have a few videos highlighting the vendor event process from beginning to end. So in this first video, we'll discuss what to offer at your booth, the basics of vendor events, and how to turn a bad vending event into a positive experience, all while you design with me. So the first thing to do is, of course, get our ideas on paper. Do you ever just buy fabric and assume inspiration will hit you later? Yeah, me too. So here we are. I ordered about 10 yards of flannel, and with a fall vendor event that's less than 2 weeks away, I'm sitting down to design some fall outerwear to get this whole situation started. Here you can see I'm working on the basic figures. These don't have to be perfect, they just need to be done. That's just one benefit of running your own business. If you need to get ideas from your head to paper, there's no back and forth, there's no approvals. And when I draw my figures, I just do shoulder, waist, and hip lines to start filling it in from there. You'll notice that everything starts as a sketchy mess, and over time, the designs and ideas start flowing, and the sketchy lines are replaced with more confident, sure strokes, and a lot of erasing. Since I'm going for some loose, one-size-fits-all poncho looks, there's not a lot of need for detail. So hair, hands, feet, just forget about it. Save your time on breaking down the design details, like, am I going to have pockets? Are there going to be seams? Are there going to be zippers? So in this case, of course, I mentioned I'm going to be making some ponchos for the event, but why did I choose ponchos? Like, what a random thing to design today. Well, personally, I live in blanket scarves and ponchos, leggings, knockoff Uggs for basically 5 months out of the year. And I love them because they're roomy, warm, cozy, and it just makes a Midwest winter so much better. I remember working for this one clothing brand, and they were so cheap that they refused to get the heat fixed until it was April. So here we were in full coats, hats, gloves, just to do our work for the day. So we're talking 40-degree weather, indoors, and we're just supposed to grin and bear it. So basically, my love for ponchos saved my life. So this is why we're going to go ahead and make sure that they can save your life too. This kind of leads into our first topic, which is, what to sell at vendor events. When it comes to vendor events, you're trying to get the attention of the largest amount of people possible. You really want people to love your aesthetic, to walk by, love the color or the patterns that they see, and just get them to look closer. You want them to be confident that they love the color, they love the print, they get a little closer, and then they're confident that their purchase is going to fit, because there's not a lot of room for trying things on, and especially nowadays, people can't just have their hands all over merchandise like they used to. So one-size-fits-all looks, gifts, and accessories really make sure that you can ensure more people come to your booth and more people purchase from you. So in my case, I'm a tight 16 and a loose 14 size, so I appreciate clothes with stretch or that are loose and flowy, or just clothes in general that look good on anyone. A lot of boho styles are a lot like that. So I'm thinking about that for this event. I'm going to elevate the ponchos with a little bit of luxury. So I'm thinking of adding some welt pockets, maybe some leather touches here and there, or a nice cozy hood. I'm just trying to kind of decide what I really want to do and what the fabric can really attain. I'm not sure how much I bought, but we'll see how it. As you can see, I'm playing around with a lot of things just because I'm not sure what's going to work best for the timeline. But, these are all the ideas I'm playing with, and you can see me kind of sketching, re-sketching, playing around with the silhouette as I go. As far as fabrics are concerned, the flannels that I chose were pretty typical black and white plaid, a buffalo check, black and white houndstooth. But then I found this really awesome pink, black, and gray plaid that I think will be great to just pull people in because it's just different enough. My brand colors have always been black, pink, and white, so it's just awesome to find something that kind of combines all three so that even if it doesn't actually sell, I'll still have something to work with, something that's going to be a great focal piece in the booth, something that'll look good on Instagram. And if I choose to do some flat lays or photos down the line, I can use it over and over for marketing pieces. Generally speaking, when it comes to vendor events, you can really rely upon neutrals and jewel tones in the fall and winter months that will really sell for you. Anything outside of that is kind of a mixed bag. People are more likely to find a neutral coat so that they can wear it with anything that they want. Mostly because a lot of people really want a shirt or a legging or their boots to pop. So when it comes to outerwear, it's definitely something that is supposed to enhance the outfit but not really distract away from it. Here I am drawing a nice hooded outfit. If you notice from poncho number 1 to poncho number 2, we have 2 different silhouettes. Very similar. It looks like I'm drawing in a zipper because, sometimes you want that kind of exposed zipper, edgy look to make things a little different. It's the juxtaposition of the zipper versus the soft flowiness of the garment that I think I really am drawn to. I always want 2 different looks. I want 2 different looks smashed together. So, so it's hard enough to have like a simple silhouette with me, but I think when it comes to fall, it's just so easy to just fall back into cozy silhouettes along the way. So now that we've kind of covered, kind of the why and what I'm choosing to sell at my vendor event, let's get into the basics a little bit. A vendor event is any festival or fair or swap meet that you can pay to have a table and sell to customers. Basically, finding these events is super easy, but it requires an application or a deposit along with images and proof of sales. They don't want any surprises, and they want to make sure that you're the person or the company or the business that their attendees are really going to be looking towards. So if you're selling metal armor and everyone at the craft fair is expecting to buy quilts, you're probably not going to be chosen as a vendor. But there are so many events that you can search for that you'll definitely find something that you'll fit into over time. Even when you're accepted, vendor events are always a gamble. There's actually no guarantee that you're going to make any money at these things because there's just too many variables to account for. In my opinion, some are worth the gamble and some just aren't. Basically, anything in a middle school gym is just not worth your time. Even if you're trying to get your name out there, it's not worth it. The time it takes to get your inventory together, load up your truck, buy all the materials for your tent and your tables and all these different things, it's just not worth the energy. The flip side of that is if you think about going to a huge vendor event and you find out that one of those multi-level marketing groups is there, like a LuLaRoe booth. If that's right next to you, it's just not worth your time because a lot of times those larger companies are selling things at a lower price. LuLaRoe, even though it's a lot of independent contractors who are reselling the merchandise, they're not actually a small business. So you're competing against leggings made in China versus, your handmade crocheted pot holders. There's nothing wrong with things that are made in China. It's just if you're at a handmade craft fair, it's not really fair to be sitting next to someone who has had some assistance in creating their merchandise. I actually have had an experience where I had, t-shirts and different outfits and different handmade skirts, and right next door I had a LuLaRoe booth, and I don't necessarily hate them. I have a couple of their leggings myself, but it was very difficult, overhearing the different ohs and ahs about, what they were offering when right next door, I have all these handmade items and these different things, and I had someone say, well, if you lowered your prices, like the people next door, you would get more sales. And that's just like nails on a chalkboard. I'm sorry that my $40 skirt is out of your price range, but I'm not going to sell $5 leggings from China. I went to the store, I bought the materials, I sewed this together, it's handmade, I have a degree in fashion, I'm going to sell it for what I'm going to sell it for. And even $40, honestly, is incredibly low for a skirt to be made. So we'll get on that topic another day. Anyway, other things to kind of look out for is any vendor event that charges a high admission fee to the potential customers or attendees that you're going to have is kind of a red flag for you. So if you are putting your last $50 into a vendor booth, you want to make sure that someone is going to walk past and purchase your items to at least pay you back and then continue to make a profit on the following people that keep coming by your booth. So anytime someone pays a high admission fee, they're less likely to purchase from multiple vendors. So it just becomes even more competitive. If it's you against Susie across the way who's, also selling crocheted pot holders or whatever it may be, you are basically vying for the attention of this person that has just walked in, paid $25 to even be there, and then you're hoping that they have an extra $30 to $50 to drop at either one of your booths. It's just kind of a crappy way to work things when you're just starting out. But even in that worst case scenario, there are some benefits to it. So let's picture this. Let's get a specific example for you. You have an amazing event that happens every year, but they charge you $100 for your 10 by 10 foot space. It has electricity, the location is perfect. Thousands and thousands go to this event every year. But this year, it's 30 degrees outside, there's rain, and basically no one shows up. So yeah, it's definitely bad. You've lost your time, you've lost your $100. But if you had used the time going up to the event to post and share and document your behind the scenes work, then you're in a better place than you would have been when you started because you're marketing. I just see a lot of vendor events as marketing events. You get to shake hands, meet new people. So in these situations, I see it as a learning opportunity. You get your name out there. You met some neighboring vendors, so you might have some new connections in the future. You lived and you learned. So come tax time, your booth fee is deductible as a marketing expense. So, it's one of those things that's kind of a slow burn. Looking back at kind of what we are discussing today, we went ahead and discussed what I plan to offer at my booth, some basics about vendor events, and how to turn a bad vending event into a positive experience. And we were able to see me kind of dilly-dally around while drawing my future ponchos. I hope these work out. So as you can see, I'm putting in some lines to indicate the drape of the fabric. I'm putting in kind of some loose plaids just so that I can get a better picture of, what it is that I'm going for. And I'm just going to keep working away, just enjoy the music as I go. So thanks so much for joining me today as I finish off some final details and finally kind of get my life together for this event. I appreciate you tuning in and make sure to like and subscribe for future videos.